ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise and welcome back to From the Depths Most Wanted. It's been a while since we've had a Most Wanted. I have been slack and lazy. Not really. It's just that Most Wanted has not been my priority lately. But anyway, we're back with some more Most Wanted because, well, people have been requesting it. So here it is. Today we're looking at the godly class white flare ship, the Leviathan, which I believe is quite a new addition to the white flare roster. I don't remember when it was added, but I don't have an intel picture of it. Like, I'm probably going to take one for the thumbnail of this very video. You've probably already seen it. Content recording is weird sometimes, but anyway, this thing fits quite well into the whole most wanted thing of like, alright, if you're prepared for this thing, it's not a big problem. But if you're not prepared for it, it will absolutely ruin your day. So, what is the deal with this? Well, in the summary of this thing in my notes, this is a kamikaze spamming white flare ship. So, this thing's all about two things. Really strong railguns and suicide craft. So, you'll notice on the back here, I'll just hang out for a second over here. This thing spawns in with not one, but two Sin Eaters. So, in case you don't know what these things are, I believe, where is the Sin Eater? I believe it's over here. That is a nuke carrying suicide craft. You can see the nukes are here, little tactical nukes. So they fly at something, they run into it, and they explode it. So yeah, that's already a problem. You need to deal with these things pronto. And if that isn't enough, the thing spawns in with 4 additional unnamed suicide craft. These are on separator blocks, so they're just called the Leviathan. And then these things continually get manufactured as they go. So if you go here, you'll see, I believe there's repair tentacles around here somewhere. Not sure where they are. I really should have looked for it. Dang it, I think... nope. They're around here somewhere. I'll probably find them eventually. But anyway, so this thing spawns in with nukes and then makes more. And then you have these honking big railguns as main guns. Double APS systems, lots of, like, I need to reverse engineer railguns, I need to get the hang of them. So, this is 320mm railgun Sabo, so they have all the stats already up there, and it's called Super Pen for good reason, because the armor pierce is 67.1, which means it does full damage to heavy armor that isn't stacked, and it does 24,000 kinetic damage, so this thing will punch through a lot of material, so just assuming 24,000, let's hop into the build menu. 24,000 divided by 1680, health of a metal beam, let's just quickly calculate that. Should have calculated that before. You probably have done it faster than me. I forgot the numbers, 24,000, I think was the number. Let me just check that again. Dang it. Yep, 24,000 divided by 1680. 1680 equals 14. So these are shells that can go through about 14 layers of metal, which is quite thick. And that's not counting the damage reduction from slopes and whatnot. So it may not be quite as bad as that, but still, strong shell. And you'll also notice that this thing is scooting along at roughly 33 to 34 meters per second, which is decently quick for a ship, and especially one that's this big. And it's got azipods, so it's quite maneuverable as well. What else? It also has smart shields. So, by the way, it's got missiles over here and secondary Sabo and stuff like that. And by smart shields, I mean that we're over here, and you'll see that I couldn't find the ACBs. Like, maybe it's an ACB, maybe it's a breadboard that controls this. I'm not sure. Do say if you know. Ah, yes. See, the shield projectors are named. So this is L for left, and this is R for right. And somewhere on this machine, I'm not sure where, maybe it's bread. Is there bread? I can't see. Look for the rubber thing. Is there bread? I don't see any bread. And I don't see where the ACPs are supposed to be, so... Also has decentralized AIs, which tend to be quite a smart idea. But anyway, how this works is that if we spawn in... Oh, let's see here... Attack on the circle at a distance. If we spawn in something over there, let's just spawn in... I don't know. Let's spawn in a few bastions for giggles. Beep, 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 and you will see that the bastions are going to die very quickly. The shields facing the side which have enemies, they turn on, and they turn on to max strength. So, strength 10 shields over here. And over here, they're not... Well, they're turned off. So this basically uses max strength shields on whatever side's facing the enemy, and then, like, the side that isn't facing the enemy, it's turned off, which is quite efficient, actually. It's a very good trick, and I need to learn how to do something similar. Very important. So, it also has missile interceptors, so you can chuck missiles at it all willy-nilly if you like, but it's not a guaranteed win. How have you done this now? So these are medium strength interceptors right here, and it's interesting how they've done this. So that's it's because they line up the launchers. Oh, that's clever. That confused the hell out of me. Okay, and they've got similar ones over on the back. So we're over here, you can see there's a few more interceptors. It's not a huge amount, but enough that you can't just chuck missiles at this thing and hope for the best. Also, it's quite clever. It does not release its sub-vehicles if enemies are below a certain size, I have gathered from my combat testing. Again, I can't find the ACBs that control that. They're probably somewhere just around... Probably over here. Let's see. Is that it? Enemy within blah blah blah. Nope. No, it just rotates them differently. Alright, well, I don't know where they are, because I'm bad at looking for things, apparently. But yeah, it's clever design in here. It also has anti-laser smoke. You can probably see that. Where is it? It's probably hither and thither. Where are ye? Where are ye? Alright, so there's laser warners over there. It does have smoke somewhere. Where is it? Where's your smoke? Oh, there's your smoke. There is the smoke, so just automatically that means its lasers are not the best way to deal with it. Because it's a ship that, while kind of fast for a ship, it's still slow enough that smoke really helps it survive against lasers, so can't spam lasers at it. It also is pretty heavily armored, actually, so if we zoom in here, at its thickest point, so around the midsection, you'll see it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of alloy, and then alloy beam slopes, and then alloy beam, so already that's pretty thick, but then, at this point at least, it has a layer of alloy and then a layer of metal, but then dropping a bit lower, it has layers of heavy armor as well. In fact, where the turrets are, let's see here, are we where the turret is? Here it is. The thing kind of goes ham. It has a double stacked layer of heavy armor, which is a bit much, honestly, although there is a interesting little gap here. That's a bit of a weak point. Naughty, naughty. Who made this? Vard. Vard, I think you've done very well. It's awesome. And, but yeah, so this is, like, it is rare to see, like, heavy armor being stacked like this, usually because it's so heavy. But yeah, that's probably what all the alloy is for. So, got little space filler armor and layered alloy and heavy armor, which means that it's not going to go down easily. It's not perhaps the most health-efficient armor, but given the size constraints that neater vehicles face, and the fact that this has to be below a certain size, and also that this isn't the biggest craft ever, like 20,000 blocks is like getting there, but yeah, this thing is quite tanky. Like, let's have a look on the turrets as well. Let's have a look on the turrets, see how they're armored. So you'll see here, layered heavy armor, lots of, is there spaced, yes, there's spaced armor in the middle, so you can't just chuck heat and hesh at it and hope for the best. right there. Spaced armor in front of the turret neck. So yeah, it's clever design all around. Like, competent, thorough design. And also, like, mentioned the AI missiles over here. It's got little IR. No, that's interceptors. Oh, I missed these, actually. Clever. Probably... Alright, here we go. So these are prediction guns, one turns, infrared seekers. So this thing can deal with small nippy things like... Actually, let's see here. Let's spawn in some planes. Let's spawn in a Falcon Squadron or a few. See how well you get on. So let's see, we've got IR missiles right there. How well do they go? They have been distracted by flares. They're very maneuverable. It's mostly the guns, actually, are dealing with this at the moment. This might actually be a way to deal with this. Whee! So incidentally, like, okay, never mind, because it's almost certainly not a great idea to use small craft against this, because high-speed shells tend to be death to planes, although the Falcons are actually doing pretty well. But anyway, so it's got little missiles just in case you want to be you want to try dodge shells through bouncing, as some airships do. And probably one of the main things about this is the main guns can hit submarines, and they can hit them quite easily, actually, simply because the shells are so fast. They're not super cavitation, so I'll just hop on the shell. So you see here, the shell speed is 1,711 meters per second. Railguns for you. And you go here, and you'll see there's visible traces, there's no super cav. Watch what it does to a Wolan. So let's spawn in... Let's see, where are you? You are a Wolan. So immediately, you can see that the shells do go underwater. Like, they're just so fast that they can hit submarines. And in fact, 1v1, this thing can kill a blackcurrant. So it is the BBS 5th season school of submarine shooting, which is if your shell is fast enough, it doesn't matter if the thing is hiding underwater, because you will hit it anyway. You just gotta arc the shot a little bit and you can get it. And as you can see, it's going straight through this poor Wolan and out the other side pretty much. So, and yep, right in the ammo compartment. Oh dear, and took out the engines as well. Oh dear, submarines seem overpowered right up until you remember that railguns exist. So this is a scary, scary thing, and I haven't even shown off the nukes yet. Let's go over here, let's just repair this, and let's show off the nukes. So let's chuck it against a bulwark so you can see what happens. So, bulwark chucks its crams, but there go the Sin Eaters. Whoopsie daisy. Actually, yeah, we've managed to capture this moment right here, where the Sin Eater says, "Hello." Sin Eater is quite big, actually. Also, oh wow, that actually didn't do anything. It just smacked it. But here come the other ones. Wow. Sin Eaters didn't actually do much. These guys, on the other hand, that's a different story. And I'm gonna hop over here and see down here. Let's see. They tend to mass produce them, or at least it's supposed to. Not sure why it isn't doing that now. Hello? Maybe if I spawned in on an enemy team, we'll be able to see that. But anyway, the nukes are probably nukes and railguns. Summing up this craft, nukes and railguns. So, how do you deal with this thing? Well, it's not, what do you call it? It is not invincible. That is the good news. And it is not flawless either. I say this is a very well-designed vehicle, actually. It's just lots of little details here. But there are problems, one of which is that if you have a look at its innards, you'll see a complete absence of lambs. There is no laser systems on this whatsoever, so this is common to most white flag craft. I think, what is it? I think it's only the Redeemer that has them, because that's literally the biggest, that is the boss craft of the white flare, so it's allowed to bend the rules a little bit. So yeah, no lambs, which means it's actually surprisingly vulnerable to large shells. So, and since it's like 33 meters per second, that's decent speed for a ship. It's not fast enough to dodge crams. So if you have something, oh, I don't know, now that this thing doesn't have nukes anymore, this is probably going to be somewhat more even. Let's chuck in a pair of bulwarks. Actually, no, let's chuck in a stronghold. So if we chuck in a stronghold, you'll see, and let's turn off repair tentacles. So when this thing is subject to a cram volley, it can't really dodge them and it can't really shoot them down. It doesn't have enough missile interceptors to do that. Admittedly, this is the stronghold we're dealing with. It's got a strong hold of crams. That pun is terrible. And also, you'll notice one other reason I chose the stronghold is that it's got really big torpedoes. And in fact, if you want to test torpedo defense, the stronghold's a good choice because it has 4 huge torpedoes. And you'll notice that the Leviathan isn't actually doing anything about that. It has no torpedo defense to speak of whatsoever, which is a pretty major weakness, especially against huge torpedoes like this. And you'll see that the stronghold is just being a sponge and just taking these railgun shells like a champ. Leviathan doing its best, but without suicide vehicles it's not going to manage. Which goes into the 4th point, and the 4th major weakness is that once, if its suicide vehicles get destroyed, if it doesn't have any, or if it's just, like, for whatever reason they are ineffective, the damage potential of this craft goes down considerably, and suddenly going from a... how expensive is it usually? From a 1 million material craft, it's like roughly a 900,000 material craft, and it performs like one, which means it does get outweighed by, oh, I don't know, something that spams non-stop weapons. Oh, actually, the interceptors there did pretty good. But yeah, the lack of torpedo defense, that really... oh my goodness, that cram... ouch! So yeah, really does kind of, does have quite specific weaknesses, thank goodness. So how do you survive it and how do you kill it? Well, I've kind of already touched on that. The trick is, well, the first hint is like the fact that these 2 separate sections are now smushed into one. To survive this thing, you have to kill it faster than it kills you. It's one of those craft. It's one of those craft where, like, if you let it, it will do tremendous damage to you with nuclear weapons and railguns, so just, you need to shoot it first, effectively. So one thing you absolutely do need is that you need hit-scan weapons to shoot down the suicide vehicles, to shoot down the Sin Eaters, to shoot down these little guys underneath here. If you do not do that, prepare to have some serious dents in your battleship, because, suicide vehicles have a rotten habit of, like, blowing turret caps off and that kind of thing. And, I mentioned big shells. You want to hit this thing early and hit it quickly with big shells to hopefully, well, do what the Stronghold's doing right now, just taking out turret caps, taking out the engines, just making sure the thing cannot shoot at you. And I hate to say it, but shield projectors actually do make a big difference when fighting the Leviathan, because you'll see occasionally the shields on the Stronghold flicker as they deflect a shell that would otherwise go straight through multiple turrets. That does make a big difference. I'm gonna say, like, usually shields, I'm not a huge fan of them. Like, I hate how they're implemented, but for railguns like these, even a 40% chance of deflecting the thing so it doesn't kill you instantly can mean the difference between you winning the fight and losing. So shield protectors, great idea. Ring shields, still a complete waste of time. Don't use them against the Leviathan. And as the Stronghold has so elegantly demonstrated, torpedoing the hell out of the Leviathan does wonderful work, because it's got no torpedo defense whatsoever, which is embarrassing for it. Let's see if it can self-correct itself now. And also, because this thing is a big lump of heavy armor and it relies on engine power to stay afloat, so to speak, we'll see that it's got a lot of props underneath here. Let's actually help it up there. It's got, let's see here, we've got, what do we got? We've got a propeller that's set to pitch. We've got that one set to roll. We've got that one also set to roll, and also that one set to roll. Interesting, there's no up props here. Let's see here. What's happening? I guess the thing can float on its own, but it certainly can't control its attitude by just with its material composition. It needs these control props here, because it's quite top heavy. There's a lot of heavy armor on top of this thing. So yeah, take out the engines, which is pretty good advice for like most things in From the Depths, honestly. Like, you take out the engines, the thing's a sitting duck, and you can literally hit it with anything you like. So yeah, I think what we need now is a little live demonstration of how to kill this thing, and hopefully I don't get embarrassed by it, because I am using one of my craft to deal with this. See you in the custom battle simulator. Okay, so here we are in the custom battle setup. On our left we have the good old Titanslang, and on the right we have the Leviathan, and we're gonna have them fight, and just to see and demonstrate some things that I was talking about earlier. So yeah, like by the way, the Titanslang is 1.8 million materials, so it's got an 800,000 material advantage. That doesn't matter too much because the Leviathan does punch above its weight, so to speak. So as you can see, they're immediately firing like so, and this is the important bit. The lasers on the Titanslang are set to target whatever's close, which is really important for dealing with the Sin Eaters, and also for dealing with these guys as they come in. So as you can see, lasers, I'm going to take that one down, and there. Take you down, and take you down, and the Sea Whiz also helping. Titanslang is probably getting over-penetrated by those rounds, but is firing straight back, and you can see the Leviathan is losing health very quickly. Also, looks still cool without fleet colors, and the Titanslang doesn't have torpedoes, but, like I said before, if you can hit it, you can, if you can hit it hard, I should say, you can kill it. And, oh boy. You missed, you fool. You missed, you fool, again. And also, one thing I should mention is that redundancy is key with this. You do not want to send ships against railguns like this when you only have one or a few critical systems, like weapons, or engines, or AI, or whatever, what have you. And, because it's not very likely, but lucky AI kill shots with this is possible. So you want lots of spare engines for one thing. So the Titanslang has a whole mess of just like spamming injector engines just to keep rolling, which means that it keeps fighting long after it should by all rights be dead. It's quite cheesy, but it works surprisingly well. And when in doubt, hit the thing very hard in the face, and it can probably do great. And I should impress on you just that the Leviathan is doing quite well. None of its suicide craft managed to get through, but still, it's taken 4% health off the Titanslang. That's an expensive repair bill, considering how expensive the Titanslang is. My goodness. But yeah, this is basically how to defeat the Leviathan. Like, if you're wanting to come at it with a conventional craft, well, like a battleship, basically, you gotta hit it hard, hit it first, and take out its suicide craft, because otherwise you're gonna have a very, very bad day, because this is quite a scary craft. very much something that if you're not prepared for it, it will absolutely ruin your day. It will piss in your pancakes, it will kick over your sand bucket, it will just generally make you cry, and that's, no one wants that. So, I hope this was helpful, and if it wasn't helpful, I hope it was entertaining, and thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon, or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Thank you to all my current supporters, and I will see you next time in From the Depths, Most Wanted. Let's watch this thing disintegrate. Farewell.